I had been working the late-night shift at a Walmart in a quiet Midwestern town for almost a year. The job itself wasn't glamorous, stocking shelves, cleaning up aisles, and assisting the occasional midnight shopper, but I appreciated the silence and steady paycheck. Walmart at 2 a.m. had a strange stillness, almost like the world outside ceased to exist. The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly overhead, illuminating the vast, empty aisles that stretched like tunnels in both directions. On that particular night, I was assigned to restock toys in aisle 17. As I wheeled the cart of boxes down, the automatic doors at the entrance slid open, though no one walked in. I froze, staring at the empty doorway. The doors hissed shut after a few seconds, and I'd brushed it off as a malfunction. But deep inside, a shiver crawled down my spine. As the night dragged on, small oddities began piling up. The toy aisle echoed with faint tapping, as if someone was drumming their fingers on the shelves. But every time I turned, there was nothing. I shifted toward electronics, where I noticed a flickering security monitor. On the black and white screen, aisle 17 showed movement, a figure, blurry and tall, pacing back and forth between shelves of dolls. My chest tightened. I grabbed the walkie and called Miguel, my coworker. He swore he was in the stockroom and had seen no one pass. When I went back to aisle 17, the figure was gone, but one Barbie doll was standing upright in the middle of the floor. The box was unopened, untouched. Something or someone had placed it there. Around 3:30 a.m., the loudspeaker crackled to life. Even though no one was at the customer service desk, a distorted voice whispered something intelligible, almost like a child's giggle mixed with static. Miguel came running out, pale and sweating, saying he'd just seen a shadow crawl across the ceiling of the break room. Together, we checked the security footage. In aisle after aisle, tall shadows appeared at the corners, stretching unnaturally long under the fluorescent lights. Then we saw it clearly, a pale figure with sunken eyes walking slowly past the camera in produce. Her head jerked unnaturally, snapping side to side as though she was looking for something. Yet when we rushed there, the aisle was empty. The fruit display had toppled, oranges rolling across the floor like scattered marbles. By 4 a.m., the automatic doors refused to open. Miguel and I tried shoving, pressing the emergency release, even calling the manager, but the phones only spat out static. The store felt wrong. The temperature dropped, our breath visible in the air. From the toy section, the giggle of a little girl echoed, followed by the clatter of boxes. We bolted toward the sound, only to find a trail of dolls arranged in a perfect line across the aisle. My skin prickled. As we turned to leave, every overhead light went out, except for one flickering above the dolls. In that dim glow, the pale figure appeared again at the far end, standing completely still, her eyes locked on us. Miguel grabbed my arm and we sprinted away, our footsteps thunderous in a silent store. We hid behind the garden center's steel shelves, panting. Then came the dragging sound, something scraping across the tile, slow and deliberate like nails on the floor. Peeking out, I saw her crawling on all fours, her limbs unnaturally long, her head twisted backwards. She was sniffing the air as though she could smell us. Miguel whispered a prayer, but his voice cracked. The lights above us burst, showering glass down, and the loudspeaker shrieked with a child's laughter so loud it hurt our ears. Suddenly, Miguel was yanked from behind, dragged screaming down the aisle by invisible hands. I lunged forward, grabbing his wrist, but he slipped away, his cries echoing as he vanished into the darkened store. I was alone. At exactly 5:57 a.m., the lights flickered back to life. The automatic doors slid open with a cheerful chime as morning employees began arriving. I stumbled toward them, trembling, but Miguel was nowhere to be found. His nameplate, however, lay in the middle of aisle 17 beside the same upright Barbie doll. The manager insisted Miguel never clocked in that night. The security footage? Erased. All that remained was static, except for one frame, me standing in aisle 17 staring at the camera with a shadow looming directly behind me. I quit the job the next day, but even now, every time I step inside a Walmart, I feel that same cold air brush against my neck. And sometimes, in the toy aisle, I still hear the faint giggle of a little girl.